Tennessee, a big winner over Ball State here to kick off the 2022 campaign, 59-10, the final score. And Tennessee now is 1-0 on the season before heading on the road to Pittsburgh for a Week 2 bout. I'm Eric Kane here with Austin Price at Volquest here at On 3. So that's really exciting, but a great first day. And now wrapping things up. Austin, this game was exactly what I thought it would be. I think it's exactly what you thought it would be. You know, we'll break it down, we'll watch it again, we'll talk about it for a week until they play again. But ultimately, Tennessee played efficiently. They created some turnovers. They protected the football for the most part. They scored a lot of points, and they won big against a team that's very much an inferior opponent.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Eric. And, again, a year ago at this time, they played a Bowling Green team. They scored 38 points. They come out and scored 2 quick drives and then kind of went, very stagnant and stale. And just kind of was just a pedestrian performance tonight. They came out, they jumped out early, they were led 38-0 at halftime. Hendon Hooker got a drive in the second half, and then it turned it over to Joe Milton, and Joe Milton went 8 of 9. He should have been 9 of 9. Missed a touchdown to Hunter Salmon, and was really efficient in his time. And this team was just efficient tonight. They got a lot of players in this football game, and I think that helps and bodes well for them down the line because you need some of these kids to get some experience, and they got it.
Right from the top, you had Tennesee McDonald. Ball State tries to do a little trickeration. He said he knew exactly what was happening. He knew that he saw that the quarterback didn't hand the football off, so he knew it was coming his way. He stayed put, got an interception. First of all, what a moment for Tennesee McDonald, winning a starting job in camp and then coming up with an interception, play 1. And then play number 2 of the football game, but play number 1 for Tennessee on the offensive line of scrimmage. You have Hooker finding Jalen Hyatt for 6.
On a route that he cut off.
Yeah.
Saw kind of the cover 3 coverage, cut it off, and then once he caught it, it was, let's get this thing in the end zone. Because, you're that close, you want to score.
But it's funny, though, because not only is that the perfect way you want to start a football game, but also 2 guys, different journeys, but needing to step up and do something on the field and make a difference. And right from the get-go, they did. Tennessee could not have started this game any better.
No, you're exactly right. They hit the nail on the head. Ironically, after the game, the kids, their roommates, they joked about, how they were sitting around the other day, and T-Mac said he was going to pick, and Jalen said he was going to score out of the gate, and lo and behold, boom, and, one of the other media members said, is there anybody that can verify that? And they said Kamal Haddon and Jalen Wright, and I almost jumped in and said, well, did they predict a touchdown and an interception for themselves? Because, all that happened. Again, a great start for Tennessee. Hendon Hooker, 4 total touchdowns, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. Tennessee's able to find a couple other touchdowns with, Jabari Small, with Jalen Wright, and with Dylan Sampson. And then, Jimmy Holiday showed, flash, as he's known by. He showed that with the jet, he's the jet. It looked like a jet, rolling right past the Ball State secondary there in the second half. So, they took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do, and now they head to Pitt to play a Pitt team that got a win over, their rival in West Virginia on Thursday night.
Tennessee's defense, real quick, and we'll continue to talk offense, but Tennessee's defense gave the offense such short field positions early in this football game, and that allowed Tennessee to take advantage of that. But again, had 2 interceptions after allowing 2 straight third-down conversions in the first quarter. They put the foot down and stopped the next 4. And I think the numbers at the end of the game were 5 of 14 on third downs for Ball State. But nonetheless, defense dominated. Defense played a whole lot of guys. Anybody stand out on that side of the football that you were like, okay, I wasn't expecting that maybe day one from you?
I don't know about what I wasn't expecting it, but I did think that Aaron Beasley played well.
Yeah.
Josh Josephs flashed. Kamal Haddon, I thought, looked really good.
There's a reason he's in there when he's healthy.
Yeah. And so, again, were they perfect? No, but, they found a way. They did what Tennessee did a year ago in a lot of ways. They kind of allowed some plays, especially between the 30s. But they made enough plays, and they only gave up 10 points. Probably should have maybe been a fraction more than that. They weren't able to get much pressure on the quarterback. I think that was one thing that I thought Byron Young would have a field day tonight, and maybe that's just the quick passing game, getting it out of the hands, the quarterback. But it just felt like Tennessee wasn't able to get home. Now, how much of that was they didn't bring a whole lot of pressure? I think they pretty much said, okay, if we're going to get home, we're going to get home the old-fashioned way. We're not going to bring blitzes and exotic blitzes.
But still, that was the issue last year because you had to do that in order to get pressure.
Home. Yeah. And so, we'll see going forward. We'll see next week at Pitt what kind of wrinkles they throw at Pitt. And, offensively, I thought they were very vanilla tonight and still scored 59 points. So
I like the way they ran the football. In not this game, but the Bowling Green game last year, you had Jabari Small and Tylen Evans both go over 100 yards, and it probably looked a little bit better. But you had Jabari Small, who had a really good game, I think 69 yards. Jalen Wright led the team with 83 yards. I thought both those guys, specifically Jabari, just ran hard, and you can tell that the work he put in over the offseason, the extra armor that Jerry Mack talks about. It was in full effect today. He was breaking some tackles. Javonte Spraggins pulled him into the end zone, which is illegal. But nonetheless, on that touchdown run, he just kept moving, just kept going. And I don't know if he would have made it this time last year. I thought Tennessee ran the football well with both those guys. And then Dylan Sampson, I thought he flashed a little bit. But maybe those freshman tailbacks didn't get as much run tonight as I thought they would. But nonetheless, all four of them got the carries.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. I was surprised that they didn't get in the game as early as they did. But at the same time, how can you blame the running back rotation for Coach Mack? Jabari needs work.
And Jalen had to get work.
He got 13 carries, 69 yards, scored a touchdown. Jalen, as Coach Heupel pointed out, as we all knew, had not had any contact in fall camp. So I understand the rotation. I just think when you're as thin as Tennessee is, you want to get as many reps as you can. They were able to do that though. Dylan Sampson got enough work in the second half. Showed some flashes, caught a ball in the backfield, made a nice play, had a couple of runs, scored a touchdown. Where gives you hope, that he can handle something if something goes down in front of him.
Yeah. Just a couple more, man. It's a late night. I want to ask about the receivers real quick. And again, this is Ball State. We'll know a lot more about this team here in 2 weeks, and certainly at the end of the Pittsburgh game next weekend. But McCoy looked good when the football was in his hands. Cedric Tillman did Cedric Tillman things. He didn't go off or anything, but they gave him a team high, I think 7 or 8 targets on the night. Jalen Hyatt looked good. Ramel Keaton had a ball game. It's Ball State, I get it, but Ramel Keaton looked good out there. And then Jimmy Holiday getting into the end zone along with Walker Merrill. You want to play more wide receivers, and at least I understand it is what it is tonight, but at least it was good to see some of those guys get in there and get opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, I thought, Walker Merrill making a play, Jimmy Holiday making a play. Obviously, Brew McCoy gave you something tonight, showed some physicality. We talked about that in the 2-minute drill down on the field. There were just some nice plays made by some guys that had not made plays the last several years. I thought Jalen Hyatt, only had 2 catches for 28 yards, but he was open 2 to 3 more times. And for my liking, I think when they go back and watch the film, they're going to go, wow, Jalen Hyatt was open.
Yeah.
This handful of times, we've got to get him the ball more, and they did, or they will probably going forward, and they really get him, some looks tonight about targets. Brew McCoy caught 3 balls, he had 5 targets. I think you've got to see that go up next week. Do I think they play as many receivers next week? No, but I think that you feel good about what some of those younger guys or inexperienced guys were able to get done, at least in game number 1.
Last thing, Hendon Hooker, stat-wise, looked good. He accounted for 4 touchdowns in the first half, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. I think he completed 71, 72% of his passes on the night. He did not have a bad night, Austin, but I think you and I can both agree that he was off a little bit throwing the football, uncharacteristically inaccurate at times on throws that you've seen him make plenty of times over the course of last season. Overall, it's nothing to overreact about. I thought he played a good game. Josh Heupel dismissed anything like that in the press conference, thought he was very accurate on the night. But what did you think about Hendon Hooker's performance overall in Week 1?
I thought it was good, a good start. It wasn't great. He wasn't perfect. Mm-hmm. But I did like what he did I did like what he was able to do in the run game. He was efficient passing. Again, I thought Tennessee on the whole had a vanilla game plan, did what they were supposed to do. They did not play. I would call this Tennessee's B-plus game. They did not play their A game.
Better than Bowling Green last year.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like just the difference. But they still didn't play their A-plus game or even their A game. So, and they scored 59. So I do think that the Ball State team was better than that Bowling Green team a year ago. So, overall, a nice, solid start to the season. We'll have to do better next week on the road at Penn.
Absolutely. It's going to get a whole lot. It's going to get just harder over the next week. And then 2 weeks, you got Florida, then obviously on into SEC play as well with the Gators. So, got a lot of work to do, clean some things up. A good start, 59-10 victory over Ball State. That is a dominant start, and it was good to get back into Neyland Stadium and play in front of a decent crowd here on a Thursday night. I think that everyone was pleased, especially with the light show and whatnot. Hey guys, got so much on the front page, on the board, at our new home, the On3 platform. What a fun day today's been. The Danny White interview with the walk around Neyland Stadium with Brent Hubbs, that was awesome. AP's one-on-one chat with Josh Heupel, that was really cool for game day. And the BFL Players Lounge, I'm super excited about how that turned out. We're going to continue to go. So if you're listening to this and you're not subscribed to us, hey, you got a great, awesome deal. You really can't beat it. $1 for 1 year. So we're inviting all Tennessee fans to join us for this new era of Volquest. And it's been a heck of a first day, and we can't wait to continue to bring that all every single day. But for Friday and this weekend, we'll continue to recap this Tennessee football 59-10 win over Ball State and look forward to the Panthers of Pittsburgh next week. For Austin Price, I am Eric Kane. Here at Neyland Stadium, we're closing the lights, turning the lights off as we leave a big season opening win.